League of Legends has never really had a cheating problem compared to the likes of CSGO, but the brand new game mode might just have changed that. It's been amazing so far, but over the past month or so, a lot of bugs and glitches have been discovered, and wherever you find those, the cheaters are never far behind. Before we get into today's video, I just want to thank our sponsor, Shopify. Merch is a huge part of esports. Every fan wants to rep their favorite team or player, and Shopify allows millions of businesses, including some of your favorite orgs, to connect with their fans and get merch and other products into their hands. And although we're not an org ourselves, we have our own merch line too, thanks in big part to Shopify. They helped us build our store from the ground up with their easy-to-use, all-in-one commerce platform. Their inventory management, customer engagement tools, and payment gateways allowed us to seamlessly create and offer our touch grass hoodies to you guys. Shopify made the whole process an absolute breeze. They help businesses of all sizes and can scale to fit their needs as they grow. They reduce the barriers to business ownership and streamline commerce so you can focus on what matters, creating for and connecting with your community. They've honestly helped us so much, and if you're thinking of starting that merch store you've always dreamed of, Shopify is just a 400 IQ choice. Check out the link in the description or go to shopify.com/theScore esports to start your free trial today. Alright, so League's new 2v2v2v2 arena game mode, Soul Fighter, has largely had a successful release. Since its launch on the public test servers over a month ago and on live servers last week, players in their millions have been loving the messy mayhem it offers. Insane augments and terrifying champion bosses make for an addictive game mode that feels familiar yet fresh. But with all this innovation has come a lot of bugs and glitches, and players willing to exploit them. Now, some of these are just straight up funny and pretty harmless. For example, there's an augment called Thieves' Gloves. It removes all your current items at the start of each combat round, and you gain random items instead with buff stats and damage. Well, some players found that if you have this augment and sell an item, you can undo selling it an infinite amount of times to gain infinite money. Thieves' Gloves prevents you from buying any actual items except potions, but repeatedly buying the Kappa Juice potion gives you an insane amount of hats.
Oh my god! Your hats! What is this?
Huge. I don't know. He's got 57 hats. I don't know.
Now that one is just funny. It doesn't actually give you an edge in combat, but there are more egregious examples. The mythical augment allows you to buy any number of mythical items during the course of a game. Some players discovered that if you try and buy the same mythic item repeatedly, the game doesn't let you do that, but it does let you hit the undo button to get your money back. The only issue is that it actually gives you more gold than you originally bought it for, meaning that in effect, this is an infinite gold glitch. Solo Renekton Only played as Ornn a few weeks ago with a Jax as his teammate who was using this bug to repeatedly buy the Heartsteel Mythic to give himself some insane stats. And every time he bought a new one, Solo Renekton would automatically upgrade it using Ornn's passive and gain 3% more health each time. Now, he wasn't trying to cheat, but his teammate basically made him an accomplice to his crimes. The result was him eventually gaining over 211,000 HP. So much that his health bar even bugged out and he could just stand still and let his Sunfire Cape kill them.
That's it. 87,000 HP. I'm just gonna burn him with Sunfire. I'm just gonna stand here. What the f is going on? He's getting 1,000 damage kicks, bro.
And then there's been the double augment bug. This one has ruined more than a few games. Basically, if a player disconnects after choosing an augment and then reconnects, they get to choose another augment. So after the first combat round, they have 2 instead of 1, and by the time everyone else has 2, they have 4. Ross Boomsocks went up against an Aurelia who used this bug and then had the absolute audacity to say free after winning.
So she did, I don't know, I don't think she got double, but she definitely got That's so sad, man. It's just insanely sad. Free. That's just, dude, I don't know. It's just cringe, man. You can't not talk for the entire game. Cheat and then say free at the end. Like, duh, obviously it's free.
And some Yasuo players have been going absolutely crazy after finding an infinite damage bug with him. As Hextech Lab showed, getting a bit of crit and then buying Rage Blade allows his crit chance and AD to recursively stack infinitely. This results in him not only one-shotting people, but hitting them for damage that would make mathematicians' heads hurt. I actually did some calculations, and that number you're seeing on your screen is almost 200 trillion times more than the number of stars in the observable universe. Leave it to Yasuo players to break the laws of physics. And then there are the straight up weird bugs that people have been abusing. Famous bug hunter Vandral has been having an absolute field day in the new game mode. They realized that at least one of the arena maps is actually on the same plane as the waiting lobby, which means that if Aurelion Sol has a buy round, they can actually fly over and take part in the other player's battle. This only proves that you can take a soul out of Summoner's Rift, but you can never take the bugs out of a soul. They also demonstrated something very similar with Twisted Fate, being able to ult into other people's matches, but then unable to actually interact with them. The list of bugs just goes on, and I'm sure it will continue to grow for the foreseeable future. Riot are really playing a game of whack-a-mole here, and for the most part, they are keeping up. They do appear to be trying to patch these bugs out as fast as they can, so that does leave us with one question then. Why would people bug abuse in a game mode? Soul Fighter is a for fun game mode. The idea of people actually bug exploiting seems pretty dumb. But you have to remember that unlike every other game mode in the history of League of Legends, Soul Fighter has a ranked system. And whenever you have a ranked system, you'll have people willing to cheat to climb their way up the ladder. Now that might be why Riot have been so quick to try and stamp out the bugs as they come, but it's also why I think this is only just the beginning. In many ways, this isn't just a game mode, it's a whole separate game. Champions, item stats, and interactions are pretty different to the base game. And so in creating something new and refreshing in League of Legends, they've also given themselves a whole new battleground to fight on in the war against cheaters. Let's see who comes out on top. You can see it. Well, you know what? If my face ever gets too boring in a video, I give people permission to look at the cars behind me. I do the same, you know? That's a lot more interesting than my face, I'll be honest. Permission granted.